Have you ever tried to forget an old wound, only to realize it still lives inside you? Time passed, days changed, people moved on, but something remained, like a scar that never became skin, like a memory that refuses to follow the clock. They said time heals everything, but no one spoke about the pain that repeats in silence, the ones that return in thoughts, in dreams, in automatic reactions. You no longer want to carry this, but you also don't know how to let it go. And this is where the lesson begins. Because real forgiveness doesn't come with time. It comes with presence. He tried to forget, tried to keep his mind busy, move cities, start new stories. He thought that if he pretended it didn't hurt, eventually it would stop hurting. But what is ignored returns, in disguise, stronger, softer. One day someone touched his arm gently, and he felt anger. Another day someone praised him, and he felt distrust. He began to see that the old wound wasn't in the other. It was in him. It wasn't about what they did anymore. It was about what he had done to himself since then. And that, time cannot erase. Only forgiveness can dissolve it. But forgiving is not forgetting, nor saying everything was okay. Forgiving is no longer being a prisoner of the pain someone else caused. It is no longer carrying a mistake that was never yours. It is saying, I release myself from the prison I built with their hands, because resentment is a castle the mind builds, but you're the one who lives inside. And he saw that. Sitting in the dark, tired of fighting, he understood. As long as he waited for the other to change, he would remain stuck. As long as he waited for justice on the outside, his soul would stay wounded. He was the one who needed to choose. To forgive, not to justify, but to be free. Deep down, he still waited for an apology, for recognition, for an explanation. But that day never came, and maybe it never will. So he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and said for the first time with truth, even without return, I let go. And as he said it, something cracked inside. An old weight fell from his shoulders, not because they deserved it, but because he deserved to move on. Forgiveness didn't come from the mind. It came from exhaustion, from realizing that holding pain doesn't protect. It only prolongs what should have ended. He didn't forget what happened, but he could remember without pain. The pain became learning. The wound became root. The past, once heavy, now supported the present. And it didn't happen all at once. It was day after day, choice after choice, silence after silence. Forgiveness is not a moment. It is a process, a ritual of release that happens even when no one is watching. And in that silence, he heard himself again. He realized he was greater than the pain, more whole than what was broken, more free than he imagined. Now he lives with lightness, not because he was untouched by pain, but because he chose not to keep it alive. When resentment tries to return, he breathes. When memory insists, he embraces. And he says to himself, I am here, and that is enough. Forgiveness became fertile ground where once there was only scorched earth. Now he harvests peace where bitterness once lived, and he no longer waits for the world to acknowledge it. Because those who forgive themselves no longer need approval. Mantra phrase, I am not what was done to me. I am what I choose to plant now. Comment below. I release what time could not take. Time is not a healer. It merely passes. The one who heals is you. Through the choice to carry no more. Through the courage to release what became a chain. Through presence with what still hurts, until it doesn't. This is the lesson no one teaches. A required lesson for those who want to live without invisible shackles. If you feel ready, begin today. Forgiveness doesn't need permission, only a decision. Continue your spiritual walk with the hidden path. Each story is a key, each silence a door. Your forgiveness has already begun to grow,